I hate this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got shot.
We've laid in
I'm glad he got shot.
Dude.
I'm not gonna that in public.
You don't have
Well,
to
then
say
what
that
are you saying it to us for?
Say something. Say something.
What are you telling us for?
I wish he was dead.
Lovely. Nebraska Democratic official fired after that rant against Steve Scalise. By the way, still in the hospital, only today taken out of intensive care. This coming with a new report that at least 30 Republican lawmakers have been threatened or attacked since May. The Washington Free Bacon's Alex Griswold with more on that. I couldn't believe those numbers, Alex. Spell it out.
Well, I couldn't believe it either. I first looked into this because I thought, honestly, it'd probably be like 1 or 2 or 3. And I only looked at the threats after the Scalise shooting. But when I realized how many there were before, it was just mind-boggling. But yes, it's 30 total for, I want to say it's 9 or 10 incidences. Obviously, the Scalise shooting tends to skew things a bit because there were 20 or so Republican lawmakers targeted there. But this is something that's happening all over the nation. This is something that's happening to Republican congressmen everywhere.
You know, the one thing I can understand, all right, they don't flip over Donald Trump. They don't and cannot fathom to this day how it is he won the election, got all those electoral votes. So they cling to the Russia thing and everything else, the collusion thing, anything they can to sort of delegitimize the guy, whether you like him or not. All right, I can see the hatred. All right, fine, run with it. But man, oh man, they are crossing a dangerous line with this sort of talk, with these kind of threats. I tell you, if it were done in reverse, which was the consensus sort of prediction before the election, that it was going to be the Trump folks you had to worry about, no one thought it would be these folks you'd have to be worrying about. What do you think?
Oh, sure. And we almost have a preview of what would have happened if it had been done in reverse, because the media just kind of assumed that it happened in reverse during the Gabby Gifford shooting about 4 years ago. And they absolutely hammered Republicans. They accused them of, fomenting this environment of hate, even though, as it turns out, they weren't even responsible. But, here you have 30 GOP congressmen who have been threatened just in the past 2 months. And, there's no overriding narrative about it.
It's always, even after this whole Scalise incident, it was taken, depending on the channel you watch, I mean, there's been enough strong language there, but I think it's fair to say that since the president's inauguration, a lot of that anger and fermenting hostility has been on the left, not too pleased with him, and expressing in all sorts of ways, including protesting the day of his inauguration and continuing virtually nonstop ever since. And now it's extended to Hollywood types, including Johnny Depp, lately saying that maybe it's time for an actor to take down another president. This is nuts and out of control nuts.
It is nuts. I'd like to think it's probably the worst that we've seen since at least the Civil War. Politicization of this factor. It's been, fomenting for years, as we all know. But, this is the first time we've seen it get really as violent as it has, where you have 30 people being threatened. You have a Republican congressman down in Tennessee who was almost driven off the road by someone just because they didn't like his stance on the health care bill. It's nuts.
But, there is a sort of in the DNA of the left to say have a tolerance for all sorts of points of view, all sorts of issues, races and creeds, which is fine. Then practice it, then believe it, then illustrate it, then show it.
That's what almost hurts me the most, is that this is not a left-wing way of thinking. And I know most liberals are better than this. So, we talk about why isn't the media calling this sort of behavior out. Liberals, it's on you too. You should be calling this out as well. This is, not part of your tradition. This is nothing. It's not liberal at all. It's not even American.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if someone at a Trump rally punched someone, that would get crazy coverage. This sort of thing, not so much. But man, oh man, it really is affecting my appetite today, by the way. But that's just me. Alex, thank you very, very much. Very good seeing you.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, get a load of this. There's a Trump supporter in Texas who got so fed up with the media coverage and obsession with all this negative stuff, including the Russian interference charges with the election last year. Well, he built a billboard calling out ABC. Wait till you hear this after this.